You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, we've got Thomas Forrester on his way back to LA in September, and I'm wondering if Hope Logan's wedding is what brings him back. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about how explosive it would be if Thomas crashed the wedding. But first, click that subscribe button. Now, we all know Matthew Atkinson is back. He's already filming at the CBS Soap, and we've got just a few weeks left until Thomas is back on our TV screens. But what brings him back, and what does he do when he returns? Those are the big questions to consider. One big worry for fans is that Matthew Atkinson isn't sticking around, and this is just them having Thomas stop in for a drive-by to tie up loose ends, and then Matt Atkinson exits Bold and Beautiful permanently, kind of like they did with Wyatt. But of course, most people, me included, truly want Thomas back, and we want him to stick around. And since they are making a bigger deal out of Atkinson's return, I've got my fingers crossed. They had him do a promo from the backlot, and then Annika Noelle has posted. So there's signs that it's maybe a bigger return. This week's B&B spoilers have Carter Walton talking to Ridge Forrester saying he wants to marry Hope. Well, of course he does. They're engaged. But I think Carter means he wants to marry Hope right now. And other spoilers for this week on Bold and the Beautiful have Carter making some sort of proposal to Hope, but then Ridge interrupts them. So is Carter suggesting an ASAP wedding? Maybe. I think the most iconic comeback for Thomas would be if he crashed Carter and Hope's wedding and snatched up the bride and ran off with her. Right now, Carter may feel like the only threat to his and Hope's happily ever after is the not dead or dying Liam Spencer. But I feel like Hope only got back with Carter, even though she said she was done with him, is because she found out Liam was dying. I also feel like Hope said yes to Carter's marriage proposal because Liam wanted her settled with a good stepdad for Beth before he died. And now we're seeing Hope and Liam getting much closer since they found out Grace Buckingham lied and caused his symptoms and conned them with that fake cancer diagnosis. So you can tell Hope is feeling a pull back towards Liam. And she rarely has scenes with her fiance Carter these days. But if Liam tells Hope she should stick with Carter, maybe because Liam's feeling selfless, then Hope may move forward with her wedding plans. So we could have Liam wanting Hope, but making a sacrifice for what he thinks is her well-being. And that has me wondering if Carter and Hope are going to have a little wedding soon. In September, in fact, and then Thomas returns, shows up there and steals the bride. I mean, Hope was head over heels in love with Thomas, said she'd never felt anything like that. And she was talking emotionally, physically, intimately, everything. And of course, he's the one who left Hope, not the other way around. Thomas walked away. So not only would it be shocking and dramatic if Hope chose Thomas and left her groom at the altar, but it would also be kind of a karmic slap for Carter. Do you remember when he was at the altar with Paris Buckingham back in 2022? Carter's hottie side piece, Quinn, crashed their wedding, and she asked Carter to ditch his bride and walk out with her, and Carter did it. He humiliated Paris on their wedding day, and I think if Hope did the same thing to him and walked out with Thomas, that would be a big clap back on Carter that he kind of deserves. I could definitely see it happening. For one thing, Annika Noelle recently posted on Instagram a story of Hope and Thomas together and hugging their son Douglas. It was a very happy family moment. And that right there, I think, is a big clue that we might be looking at a reunion for Thomas and Hope, or maybe Annika's just hoping for one. I mean, she's not a writer on the show. But I just don't see Carter and Hope's wedding day going off without a hitch and them actually getting hitched and having a happily ever after. Whether Hope ends up with Thomas or with Liam, I just don't think she's going to end up with Carter, especially if Thomas barges into Hope's wedding and declares his love for her and Thomas asks Hope to choose him over Carter. I would absolutely love that. All Thope shippers would. And of course, I think Hope cares about Carter, but I just don't think Hope's heart belongs to him. Carter and Hope just don't have that kind of epic love that she had with Liam or with Thomas. And in fact, I think Hope might have married Thomas by now if he had stuck around. But Hope, at that moment when he proposed the second time, she just wasn't ready to get hitched. Not yet. It wasn't her saying no to Thomas. It was her saying not right now, because Hope really hadn't been divorced from Liam for all that long. And I think she just wanted to enjoy being with Thomas. She needed to heal. She didn't want to rush things. And of course, we all saw how devastated Hope was when Thomas left town. She raged and blamed Steffi, which was totally valid. And Hope tried to get Thomas to dump Paris and choose her. When they came back to LA, that was on the trip where Thomas revealed he was engaged to Paris. But Thomas rejected Hope, which devastated her again. So I think while she had to move on from Thomas because she didn't have any choice, I think that big love and all the feelings she had haven't gone away. And in fact, Hope might walk away from her wedding to Carter and then finds herself torn between Liam and Thomas. Now, if you listen here often, you'll know that I am no fan of love triangles. I am so worn out on Taylor and Brooke and Ridge. It's been going on literally, 2.5 decades, almost 3. It's absolutely insane. We've seen Brooke in the love triangle with Eric and Ridge and other men, and we have seen that Hope had fought with Steffi for so long to get Liam, when she was locked in the gondola, just every single thing in that long-running love triangle. So again, not a fan of them. However, if it's 2 guys and 1 girl, I would be more of a fan of that. I don't like seeing women clawing each other apart, fighting over a man. But seeing Liam and Thomas fight for Hope's love, I think that would be absolutely epic. She fought with Steffi for so long. It'd be nice if somebody was fighting for her. And I definitely think it'd be a turnabout is fair play kind of situation. And after all this time, if Thomas comes back without his fiancée, Paris Buckingham, and says that they have split up and he and his son Douglas Forrester are back, I can see Hope's feelings for Thomas come flooding back, even if she is also thinking about Liam. And for me, for my money, for my time, Thomas crashing Hope's wedding would be the most epic comeback ever. We'll wait and see. Brad Bell usually doesn't surprise us, but this is what I'm hoping for.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.